Hey, Eric.
You do.
Hey, before we start this week's episode, let's tell everybody that it would be greatly appreciated, and they're missing out on a lot if they are not following us on Facebook.
That is absolutely correct. Like and subscribe to our feed on Facebook.
Yeah, it's facebook.com/Optimus Primecast.
And that way it will show up in your daily news feed.
Whenever we're doing something silly, we've been having a lot of good conversation over there.
Yeah.
Last couple of days, actually.
Yeah, we actually we made a new friend. Uh-huh. So we have Jacob up in Vancouver, and then we have Paul now, who's from Texas.
Yeah, and he just made his wife. On Saturday he was saying that Sunday they would be watching all of season 1 on Sunday, and then he was going to make her listen to the podcast. So hi, Paul's wife.
I'm sorry, Paul's wife. I sympathize with you.
But man, but they didn't make it all the way through. They just made it through the first disc? First 7 episodes?
Yes.
What did they do? 7 episodes? Okay, that's still like 3.5 hours of watching, isn't it?
It's the equivalent of watching Braveheart.
Yeah, I know. It was like it's 26 episodes in the first season, so I was like, you're going to watch Beast Wars for 13 hours, man? Oh, gosh, I want to be part of that party.
Anyway, all kidding aside.
I had my fiance hold the camera so I could do an unboxing video last night. So there will be a post for that in sometime this season or next season when we get to that, because I don't want to spoil anything for Eric. The thing is, he doesn't know the show.
I don't.
So I'm not.
He's like, I got a new toy, and I'm like, oh, what'd you get? And he's like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, he'll see it, but and I trust him not to go on the TF Wiki looking up spoilers on my toy collection. So we have Tristan posted a funny picture in one of the comments boxes. Did you see that one?
No. What was it?
It's the new Megatron versus Grimlock. Because you had mentioned that it was that the new Megatron looks like a knockoff third-party Grimlock. Yeah. So we got them fighting in one of the comments. I liked that. And we love seeing that kind of stuff. We love interacting with people, so if you'd like to interact with us, please join in the fun on the Facebook page. You can also email us suggestions, or I don't know, man, if somebody wants to do a kazoo version of the Beast Wars intro music, we'll use that one week. But yeah, you can email us at, what is it?
theoptimusprimecast@gmail.com.
All right, you could do that. Another thing, if you want to help us,
yeah.
Now you've come to help. If you can help us, there are 2 ways you can do that. One of those ways is to hop onto iTunes and please leave us a review.
Yeah,
a 5-star review.
Well, it doesn't have to be 5-star. If you think that it's more of a 3-star,
but it should be a 4-star review.
That's quite all right.
If you want to leave us a 1-star review, write us an email at the Optimus Primecast at gmail.com.
But leave a review. Reviews go and help others find the podcast. It also helps the search. When you're in a podcast or on iTunes, it helps the search.
It makes us visible, man. So if you like the program and you'd like other people to be able to find us and help other Transformers fans find our podcast, leaving a review puts us closer and closer to like the top slot as far as when you search in iTunes for a Transformers podcast. We would love to be up there on the list. We're already on the first several hits. There aren't too many, but it's super. It sure is helpful, and it really makes us feel good. We're actually going to do, probably on next week's episode, we'll do a recap of the reviews that we do have, because we got some good ones. I like it.
It's nice. It's fun.
Chastise your language, Eric. You cost us a star. I like that. We did get a 4-star. We got a 4-star.
Potty mouth.
I took a star away for the naughty language. It was good, but anyway. But they still listen, so that's wonderful. They still acknowledge that we still do a quality show. So I was really thankful for that.
Lastly, not lastly, but I mean another thing is we recently went and took the time to completely update our Patreon page. So
nothing. It was all Eric. Eric put in a ton of work.
Basically, we went ahead. We overhauled all the posts from all of season 1 up to present. So now we have new title cards for our art, I guess.
They are hilarious arts. If you like Monty Python type art, that like kind of clip art looking stuff where it's just clever And if you've seen any of the videos that Eric has done for the podcast at the YouTube channel, which there will be a link in the show notes. If you like that kind of thing, you got to go to the Patreon page. If you can't subscribe a donation, please go check out the art. The art is hilarious.
Also on the Patreon page, we do now have streaming availability there. So you don't have to have an iPhone. You don't have to have a mobile device that supports like Podcast Crawler. You could actually just go to the Patreon webpage and stream it right there on the episode listing. So that is available too there. If you have the ability to donate, that'd be awesome if you can. If not, please go there, tell your friends to check out the show.
And go to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. So without any further ado, you ready to get into this week's show, Eric?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Hey, everybody, it's Dale.
And this is Eric.
And welcome to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
You can find it at optimusprimecast.com.
This week, episode number 28.
The Coming of Fuzors.
Fuzors.
I misread that.
They don't say the word in the episode. It's all right. That'll be next week. It was written by Bob Forward.
And directed by Steve Sachs.
This week, 2 Fuzors, Silverbolt and Quickstrike, are created from damaged stasis pods, and Megatron is able to convince them to join the Predacons. Meanwhile, Tarantulas is able to download his spark back into his new transmetal body. Dinobot steals the golden discs after he and Waspinator find out that the planet they are on is Earth.
Da-da-da-da. My alternate title for this episode is I Told You So.
Well, I wasn't about to tell you. There were 2 moons.
And now there's one. So we open up, basically. Just right. This should be like part 2 of Aftermath.
Aftermath, yeah.
Or should it be part 5?
Yeah, this is part 5.
Of the season ender, because it picks up directly after the first episode. You know, the pods crashed, and you know we have the
that desolation landscape.
Yeah, the spooky skeletons landscape. We see a scorpion crawling
There's a scorpion
on a tree.
Yeah, and there's a snake too.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a snake and a scorpion and ickiness generally everywhere.
Happy Halloween, everybody! Last week,
seriously.
2 weeks ago. But yeah, it's really weird. And then we got the dark side. Basically, Sexy Computer says, "Oh, stasis pods have landed." Blah blah blah.
And Megatron says, "Inferno, come with me."
Yeah. So they hightail it out.
Behind.
Waspinator's like, "Oh, I'll come too." Oh, look at the moon. What? The moon. Those markings. Waspinator knows.
That's the line. That is the line I've been waiting for.
Waspinator knows.
That is the most important part of this entire show.
Waspinator
knows. When Waspinator looks up at the moon, recognizes it. Because that puts everything else into motion.
Okay.
That moment when, like, you know, the other moon is gone, this moon is marked correctly, and Waspinator has the first realization that we're privy to.
Okay. It's like Waspinator knows. It's like, oh, okay. Well, the moon, he says the moon, those markings.
Yes.
It's like the moon. All right. So the moon is locked in orbit with Earth, so that the same side faces the Earth all the time, because it's rotating at the same speed as it's rotating around the Earth.
Yeah.
So they would have seen
not
those.
Spinning, yeah.
Well, they would. Well, it is spinning.
No, it's always facing the same the same way. We would
correct.
If
but
the moon
it is
was
spinning.
if the moon was spinning, then when the moon is on the other side of the Earth, we would see the back side of it. We never see the opposite side of the moon.
No, the moon is spinning at the same speed as it is orbiting the Earth. Okay? And that's why it's locked in that position. Because as it's rotating, it's still rotating, but as it's rotating, it's just going around the Earth at the same speed as it's orbiting.
Okay, fine.
So it only looks like the same side is locked. I mean, the moon still rotates on its own axis.
Okay.
Shut up, Dale.
I'll go with you there. I'll go with you there for the sake of things. I'll watch a YouTube video about it later.
Regardless, the moon is always been shining.
Yeah.
Like, the markings would have been the same on the moon.
Unless there was an explosion nearby.
And there have been.
a whole other moon just exploded, changing the markings on the moon.
That's
the source.
Dude, that's stretching it.
Your face is stretching it. They would have noticed it before.
Said the liar.
They could have looked up. They could have looked up and seen the moon and been like, oh, those markings are the same, but why is there another moon in Earth's orbit?
Yeah, whatever.
But if there was a big explosion...
Your face is a big explosion.
Either way, this is the moment where Waspinator realizes what's going on, which I think, honestly, is giving us an insight into what Megatron has known to be going on.
Yeah, and we kind of cut to, after that, he goes back inside, runs back inside. We have Dinobot, who's kind of, lurking around.
In a fantastic sequence. This is an awesome sequence. Dinobot is sneaking somewhere. He's obviously sneaking into Predacon territory.
And he gets shot by their automated cannon system.
Yeah, by their autocannons.
And he gets knocked into mud.
He gets knocked nearby mud. He looks down and he sees this mud down there.
Well, in any case, so he gets shot, he gets knocked down, and then you see the point of view of the scanner, of the guns, and it goes and it zooms in on this frog, and it's oh no signature present, okay, and then it keeps on passing over, and it's panning, and then all of a sudden you see this massive gunk.
Yeah, just like a muddy something or other.
And then it passes by and it pans back over out of frame.
But and you hear the footfalls.
And then it passes back over and that mass is closer. And it keeps on doing it. It's like, okay, all right. I'm just waiting for the Looney Tunes. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
dun, 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 dun.
That's totally the pacing of it. It was fantastic. I got such a kick out of that sequence.
It was good. So, basically, what we come to find is that Dinobot has been watching too many Schwarzenegger movies. Is using
Predator,
using the trick from Predator of bathing himself in mud, so his signature is masked somehow.
Yeah, so he can't be seen by the camera.
So he goes and he sneaks in.
And we cut to Waspinator, who is finding the golden discs.
Yeah, he's looking at him and he's like, "Oh yes," and he goes to go poke it, and he gets shocked.
Yeah,
and then he gets thrown backwards, and then
right to Dinobot's feet.
Yeah, where mud flops on him, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then Dinobot just grabs him by the face, just lifts up his entire body.
Yeah, and it just says, "You saw the moon."
Yeah. So I guess if he says you saw the moon, then that means that Dinobot also saw the moon.
Yeah.
And that's why
Dinobot's asking Waspinator, "You saw the moon, didn't you? That's why you're looking for the discs too."
Yeah.
And Waspinator's like, "Yes." And
Megatron was right.
Yeah. So Dinobot says Megatron was right, which
it validates his entire reason for defecting over to the Maximals.
Yeah, this is creating a gigantic crisis of conscience.
Yeah. With
Dinobot, I mean, the first things we hear him say when they're not in battle is, "Megatron, you idiot!"
That's how we're introduced to Dinobot.
Yeah. With Dinobot totally rejecting Megatron's authority, and everything that Dinobot has done is predicated on Megatron
this
being
one innocuous
wrong.
mistake.
Mm-hmm. Which is a big problem for him. But in the meantime, him and Waspinator should try to get those golden discs.
Yeah, Waspinator's like, so, Dinobot and, Waspinator pair up? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But real quick, before that, Waspinator says, so, because they're kind of having this, half conversation, and Waspinator already only speaks in sentence fragments. So they're what's the conversation like? So that means
discs give a record of the future, ultimate power.
And then he proposes that they team up. Let's team up.
Lizardbot and Waspinator team up. Get discs together.
Yeah, they're a record of the future. Okay, I get that in a literal sense, because if they are on Earth and this is, yeah, it's a prehistoric Earth. Okay, I get it, because Netflix said so. And you said so. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, if this was prehistoric Earth, it doesn't explain. Well, the Vok put the Energon on the planet. Where did the second disc come from? Because the first disc, okay, it's the literal future, yes, because in the late 60s, the 70s, we sent out the Voyager 1 and 2 probes, which have that disc on there, the record of blah, blah, blah. Okay, I understand how that kind of predicts the future. But like the key to ultimate power, I just don't see that. And like, what's this other disc?
That hasn't been explained yet. The second disc is obviously not the Voyager disc. It has symbols that change.
Yeah, it's weird.
It has symbols that change. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the thing is that like it's getting pieced together. They know something that we don't know, and it's only going to get revealed as it becomes pertinent to what is happening in the present.
What is this ultimate power?
Yeah,
I don't know. And well, it's not the Energon, obviously, because
no, it's if you know the future. If you can control, if you know the future, I mean, it's like knowing the lottery numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, here, if you're in the past and you know of the future, you have the ability to change, as it goes on.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that cause a
time paradox?
Yeah, we're talking Metal Gear Solid stuff here.
Yeah, is it going to cause a time paradox? How do you use that power? How do you use that power in such a way that it doesn't drastically change other things and stuff like that? You've seen Megatron's planning abilities.
The very fact that they are there with both of the discs basically affects and nullifies any future that they were referring to. It's the grandfather paradox, man.
Or, I don't know, man. Well, it is, it all comes together. It all comes together pretty well.
I don't believe you.
But yeah, it looks sticky, and there is like a lot of like danger in the situation because yes, if they're in the past, if they are encountering if they know that they have a record of the future, but they're the only ones. So now what? Megatron, Waspinator, and Dinobot are the only ones that know that the discs are a record of the future, not of the past. Dinobot is asking the question in another minute or so about whether or not this is a matter of having power over the future, or if it's a matter of, or if the future is locked in place and his destiny is just predetermined and he has no way to fight it.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Basically, when Waspinator says, "Hey, we should pair up," Dinobot's like, "Yeah, we should. You go first." throws him into like I guess this containment field or whatever. Yeah. He gets pulled apart by a magnet on the wall.
Well, no, he's getting basically he gets
he's occupying the field. Basically,
he's occupying the field and he's becoming supercharged with all this electricity, which makes pieces of him fly off and end up getting stuck to the wall magnetically, and then they end up in a trash compactor and he gets cubed. But in the meantime,
Dinobot steals the discs.
Yeah, he gets the discs and hightails it out of there, and
then goes and finds a mountainous, rocky like hideaway where he starts to spout Shakespeare again.
Mm-hmm. After Black Arachnia, and just Black Arachnia is just surrounded by dead bodies now. But
well, yeah, like so, Waspinator gets made into a cube. He gets spit back out, and he's still like
he's still awake.
He's still like aware,
man. Yeah. Poor Waspinator. He's conscious through everything that happens to him. But Black Arachnia is dragging Tarantulas' body through the dark side.
Throws his body down on the ground as she comes across Waspinator.
And she takes a shot at Dinobot.
Hey! What's going on here?
And he's getting away.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and Tarantulas is in her brain saying, "Go get him. He has the discs. Those things are more valuable than..." Oh, never mind. Because Black Arachnia is not going to risk her skin to go fight Dinobot when there's just too much going on.
Well, not only that, Tarantulas basically is like fighting with her still because he's still in her head. Mm-hmm. Like, no, get my body online. Damn it, woman. I need you to put my body in.
Yep. So she's just gonna do that. She's like, look, I'm not gonna follow all your orders if I can't help it. Let's just get your body up on the wall. And Waspinator's down there on the floor like,
oh sure, don't mind Waspinator. Waspinator just lie here and suffer, drag himself to see our tech.
How?
Yeah, well, he's got one of his little bug legs is reaching out and dragging his garbage cube across the floor.
So sad.
Poor guy.
So
he takes care of himself. We cut over to Tigatron and Air Razor they're getting sent by Rhinox
to go check on pods.
Yeah.
And we have
they gotta check on the pods that are over in the Predacon territory.
Yeah,
because there are two that are in Maximal territory. One of them they don't really reference. I don't know if it's just damage beyond repair, but the second one
they find a blank.
Now,
it's
a protoform without a spark.
Yeah, like I had to ask Dale, what do you mean a blank? And he's like, oh, it's a protoform without a spark. And then we started kind of talking a little bit about that. But it's like it made me wonder. I'm like, okay, all right, because we do see a little bit later. Because Rat Trap was all like ticked off about it. Well, what good is this gonna do us? You know, like, oh great, you know, I hope they're having better luck on the in Predacon territory. But it's like, okay, so we have Rhinox dreaming. I'm not gonna say that psychic word. We have Rhinox dreaming of, I guess, the energy of Prime, which you said is his spark. And if it's blank without a spark, and like
maybe we get a new toy.
I don't know. It's just like, oh, okay. So I see how they're gonna do that. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe
we'll
we
find out.
Yeah, we'll find out in a few more minutes.
That's just Prime.
So, they head back. They head back to the Axelon, and I guess like Rat Trap is in charge again.
Yeah, Rat Trap apparently. Well. The situation there is that Rhinox is having Rat Trap put. Well, Rhinox is going out. He's this happens later, but we'll come back to the introduction of the Fuzors. But Rhinox is going offline.
Yeah, he's putting himself in a chamber of some sort. It's like a weird thing.
Yeah,
it's like half a stasis chamber.
Yeah, whatever. The transwarp space has been a window to transwarp space has been opened from that explosion.
Yeah.
So, like, some aspect of space-time that we don't usually have access to.
And he's like, I got to get in there before it closes.
Before the window closes, yeah. So he's going to go in there before the window closes. We're not privy to what his plan is, but, you know.
Or how he's going to do it.
Yeah. So, well, Rat Trap says, hey, we could use your core consciousness right here because some things are going, because that's happening while Cheetor is having a battle that we're going to talk about in a second.
Yeah.
So, of course, we can surmise that Rhinox is sending his core consciousness through transwarp space to try to locate Optimus Primal's spark to drag it back and stick it in the blank. You fill in the blank. And stick it in the fridge. And stick it in the Chevy Nova.
Mad libs here.
Yeah, we're just mad libbing it.
But like, not to get a little ahead of ourselves, but like in that process, we see like all these weird energy spirals coming out of Rhinox's face and body or whatever while he's doing the thing. I guess to illustrate to the audience what is going on.
His core consciousness is not,
and his eyes are black, and you know, so it's obviously he's gone.
Yeah, he's offline.
But yeah, so we cut back, you know, while this is going. Sorry, guys, we're flopping back and forth.
Yeah, we'll rewind.
We cut to the Predacon territory side where we saw the hand come out and like the other pods, and we see
we're hearing more error messages from the stasis pod.
Critical scanner damage. Replication error. Data tracks not recoverable.
Which is convenient for the question that I asked you last week. Which is like, okay, well, they're Maximals, right? So they find the thing, and then when they come out, they're just Maximals, right? Nope. Convenient plot damage.
Convenient. There's nothing convenient about a transwarp explosion, Eric. Nothing convenient for anybody.
Anyway.
The data tracks are not recoverable. They got no memories, and the one is a snake. Scorpion.
Here it opens up, like one of the pods open up and we see spider legs, and it's like, okay, another spider, and then like the other one opens up and you see wings. I'm like, where did it's a bird, okay, and then it opens up and then you have basically what you were saying, a scorpion, but with a cobra for a tail. And then we have
with the front end of a cobra for a tail.
The front end of a cobra for a tail. Yeah. And then we have what appears to be a griffin, where it's like a wolf head, and then
you
know,
wolf
eagle
head
wings
and body,
and
eagle wings and feet.
Yeah. It's like, okay. I really need to brush up on my Greek mythology to figure out what those are called.
Yeah, just a.
I mean, they're chimeras.
Yeah, they're chimeras.
Classify, but
no, whatever. They are Fuzors. They have been fused because a bunch of different DNA was acquired. The pods are screwed up, and they ended up putting together monsters.
I was promised Fuzors, man. I don't know, Fuzors, Fuzors.
Those are the Beanie Baby versions of these that got put out by Ty.
Man.
So we have the Fuzors, and we don't get that word in this episode. We'll hear them next time.
Okay. But the Scorpion guy.
Yeah, Quickstrike.
Yeah, we don't find out their names until later,
Okay.
but he's all like typical, and apologies here if I offend anyone, but typical Southern redneck.
Oh, he's a cowboy.
He's
I'm
gonna fight you.
Yeah, he's like a gold rush. He's like a gold rush era
prospector.
Californian.
Yeah. What are you doing on my land?
Yeah, somewhere between There Be Gold in Them There Hills and Yosemite Sam.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, who are you? And the other one comes out.
Yeah, so we'll get introduced to him as Silverbolt. Silverbolt.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he's like, who are you? I don't know, who are you? Well, I don't know who I am, but I reckon I could beat you up. Quickstrike comes out, and he just wants to fight.
He's like, hey, man. And then Silverbolt is like, whoa, wait, hold on here.
I have no quarrel with you, friend.
And I find it funny because, like, when they start introducing themselves, like Silverbolt is like, I think my name is Silverbolt, and then there's like this weird horn fanfare in the background.
Yep,
It's
right.
like,
I think my name is Silverbolt. Yes, pure, strong, and fast.
Yes, seriously, and that doesn't go away, dude. Silverbolt is one of my favorite characters. He is awesome. He is super cheesy. He is straight up super cheesy. He wants to do the right thing, and he knows what the right thing is in his heart of hearts. Burr, 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 burr. And he is just gonna be like that, dude. Quickstrike is just is a cowboy trying to have a fight wherever he goes. Silverbolt is a knight in shining armor with delusions of grandeur.
buckle up, everyone. It's going to be a long, short season.
But you'll see. Well, the thing is, one of the interesting things is Silverbolt is a reused name. There was a Silverbolt in the G1.
Okay.
And there is, and that same Silverbolt carries on to the current Combiner Wars.
Is there any type of, like,
A tie-in?
yeah, between that Silverbolt and whatever,
Yes.
like a lineage type thing?
As far as lineage, I wouldn't say that. It's definitely not the same spark. They're a namesake. There are, especially since, well, it depends on the continuity that you follow. As far as the parallels that you can see immediately, Silverbolt is introduced in G1, the episode where the aerial bots are introduced. They're created. And they combine to form Defensor.
I don't even remember any of that.
Yeah, this is after Devastator shows up. So the well, because the thing is, among resource wars and stuff in G1, one of the technologies that the Autobots don't have is the ability to combine, like in the way that Devastator,
The Combiners do?
yeah, and that's why we're in Combiner Wars right now, because that technology is apparently now becoming available, because they have to make body modifications to themselves and also be able to work as one unit. That's why Devastator is so stupid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because it's 5 individuals trying to function as one. So the aerial bots, when they are created, and the Stunticons are created at the same time. The aerial bots and the Stunticons are made at the same time. The Decepticons make the Stunticons to be obedient to the Decepticon cause and just all about warfare and being evil. But
I roll.
yeah. But Optimus Prime has Alpha Trion create the give minds to the aerial bots that give them free will. He wants them to choose to be Autobots and choose to engage in the war rather than just be slavishly dedicated to the Autobot cause. So that's the whole arc of that. And Silverbolt is their leader, and he is the one who's kind of like, oh, well, this doesn't feel right, you guys. And then, I don't know. I think, they gave us life. Maybe we should give them a hand. Oh, but they're in trouble, you guys. Come on, fellas. Let's go save the Autobots. And that's what, so Silverbolt is that same kind of like, I gotta be heroic character.
Okay.
All right. So kind of like, blindly and kind of dumbly heroic. Or noble.
Air quotes. Noble. So they start like kind of like somewhat fighting, but then they get
Silverbolt. Quickstrike's trying to get Silverbolt, and Silverbolt's just kind of dodging and growling a little bit. And Inferno sees them, and he wants in on the action.
This is great.
Yeah, he wants in on the action, and he just like, all right, what does he say? Does he say something stupid?
I don't remember. Insert the audio.
Here
For the royalty!
So Inferno comes in and starts. He comes at Quickstrike.
At first he goes and he opens fire, which like breaks up the party a bit, so they stop fighting, and then he like lands down there, and
Quickstrike is like, all right,
he's like, I gotta take this guy out.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like he's just standing there, he's just like, okay,
and Quickstrike jumps on him, starts like biting him with his snake tail. Inferno's got one claw in each hand. He's just holding him and kind of laughing while Quickstrike's tail is trying repeatedly and stupidly to bite into Inferno.
Yeah, Inferno doesn't care. Inferno is the Honey Badger character of the...
and he says that...
Bane is my friend. Allow me to introduce you to it.
And he just grabs him by the tail and just
starts smacking him around
on the ground.
like a bag of potatoes or a bag of ice that you're trying to break up.
Oh, so good. It was so good.
Megatron sees this. He's standing off to the side. See, the episode is so good we didn't even bring up the fact that Megatron has roller skates.
Well, he's in flight. Getting back to that, he was like flight mode, and then he puts on his roller skates. It's like
landing gear, man.
Okay.
And then but Megatron in the meantime is hacking into their security.
Their core consciousness
and their security because all their security protocols aren't up and running yet. So he hacks into their core consciousnesses or whatever, or their systems, and reprograms we know ultimately that he reprograms their activation codes to be terrorized.
I have so many issues with this episode with like little things like that just like, I'm just going to tap into their core consciousness. I'm like, really? No.
Well, he's not able to reprogram them the same way that Tarantulas has done it in the past.
Yeah, it's not a complete mind wipe, but
it's a minor. It's like rekeying somebody's lock.
Yeah, but if they were knocked out still, or maybe I'd let it slide, but not.
Yeah. Well, he's taking advantage.
Like they should, like if they're
not
conscious,
fully active, but they're not all.
If they're conscious, they should be able to.
I don't know. Their data tracks are still all screwed up.
I don't know, man.
Their data tracks are screwed up. This is a crime of opportunity that Megatron is committing right now.
I'm gonna retitle this episode "The Coming of Eric's Not So Fun Time."
I mean, but it's not like that's the only thing, because that's the only thing that Megatron's able to do. He then has to proceed to. Did you catch when he tail slaps Inferno out of frame?
No,
I think you were looking down. He whacks Inferno out of frame and says, "Goodbye, bad cop. Hello, good cop."
I heard that. I think I was writing down notes.
Yeah, and then he has to con Quickstrike and Silverbolt into being Predacons. This is where they introduce themselves by name.
I have Megatron, sweet talking silver tongued devil.
Oh, seriously, man. Yeah, and he's going to be misrepresenting the Predacon cause the whole time. Because the thing is, he doesn't know.
We don't want to fight.
We are all Predacons. If your data tracks had not been damaged in the crash, you would know this yourself.
Boy.
And that's when Silverbolt says, I think my name is Silverbolt. Swift and true. And then to further finally convince them that they are Predacons, Megatron says,
use your activation code. Say terrorize, and you'll transform. And
if your data tracks weren't so damaged, you would have known this already. So then Quickstrike says it, and he loves it. He's okay. He's got new weapons and new opportunities.
Like, yeah, I like this. Ooh.
Silverbolt he doesn't like the taste of the word.
Yeah.
Silverbolt.
Terrorize.
And he transforms, and he doesn't like it.
Yeah, and he's like, it doesn't sit well with me. And around this time, we have Cheetor, who's kind of patrolling and sees all this, and he's kind of heading in. And Megatron's like, you attack this guy, you know, and Quick Shot.
What the heck happened to
Quickstrike.
Air Razor and Tigatron?
I don't know,
Did
man.
they get lost? Why is Cheetor here?
I forgot.
I don't remember seeing them at all.
No, we were talking. I completely forgot. Like when they were dispatched to go like catch things or whatever, and Ares is like, okay, we're gonna go do this, I guess. And then Tigatron's like, well, then the lady shall join me, or something like that.
After you, my lady.
Needs a fedora.
That scene is awkward in Japan where Air Razor's a boy.
It's like, what's up, bro? Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, no. They fall in love.
I don't know.
So, oh, man. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, the reason why Cheetor gets sent over there is our first, what was that shot? Because Cheetor is with Rat Trap and Rhinox. So Rhinox gets his core consciousness uploaded into trance warp space, and Rat Trap finds himself being in charge again. And that's specifically, like, Rhinox claimed leadership last time, but now he's like, I gotta go be Obi-Wan Rhinox. And so he's got to meditate on some things, leaving Rat Trap in charge.
Well, Rhinox claimed leadership last time because Rat Trap was not there to take up the,
either way,
the thing.
him and
because he was
and
busy
Dino.
defending the base, so he took charge.
Yeah,
because if we default back to season 1 here, Optimus would put Rat Trap in charge. Shut up! I know you're gonna say it. Just shut up.
Say what, Eric?
Nothing.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Succinctly say nothing. And be glad.
So yeah, I mean, Dinobot's not going to be in charge. Rhinox is leaving, so and him and Rat Trap would do a teamwork type of a thing, I think, at this point, given the situation. But Rhinox is like, hey, I got to check out for a while. You're in charge. So now Rat Trap is in charge, and he's for once not being snide about it. He's even saying, Optimus, I don't know how you did this.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
But he sends Cheetor out to go find out what the heck happened.
Yeah,
right?
to go assist, basically.
Yeah, to go assist, and Cheetor's head logo lasers out of his face.
It was weird. It was so
like,
weird.
What? And then it just cuts to him flying away. So it was like, I have no idea what that was. I just have, what was that, written in all caps.
It was weird.
Yep.
It felt weird.
Yeah, it felt weird.
It left a weird taste in my mouth.
And none of this gets resolved quite yet, because this is when we get to Dinobot having his Shakespeare moment.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Yeah.
To be or not to be, that is the question. He's got these
whether to suffer the slings of the arrows. Like we're back in season 1. Like, Dinobot must really love
Shakespeare.
British literature in general, like, old literature. Because it's like he quotes it, but he quotes it well.
Yeah, that's Hamlet again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it Macbeth? I forget. Is it Macbeth or Hamlet?
No, it's Hamlet.
It's Hamlet?
It's
Okay.
Hamlet. So it's the same play. Maybe he only has the one book.
Yeah, maybe he's got one book.
It's the one book that he was able to download before they left. Before his Wi-Fi went out of range, and he doesn't have the complete story. It just ends at Act 3.
Yeah.
Or ends at Act 2. In any case, so like he quotes it well, and like I really applaud the writers, Bob Ford, bravo, of being able to kind of like swap things out in exchange, like for what was actually said in the play versus what Dinobot goes on. I mean, he's like battling with himself in regards to what to do and how to use these discs, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, what does he do? There are a lot of like paths open before Dinobot now, because there is he can use these to his own advantage. He can leave the Beast Wars and take everything over. If this is ultimate power, he could use the record of the future to alter it to benefit him. He could apologize to Megatron for being wrong, for having himself be wrong. He could use this power to help the Maximals actually win the war. What does he do? But also, I think the thing that we are clued into, which is a little subtle, I think that he sees his own death in there. Because he's talking about his own fate.
I could not live if not the master of my fate.
He's talking about whether or not he lives or dies. He's talking about his own destruction. And is this something that he can foresee? Is this something that can be changed? Can he alter the future? Or is it laid out in a very specific way?
So you're saying that Dinobot dies?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying that he sees something in the future that really troubles him other than what he has to do now. He wants to know if he can change the future. That's what he's asking. Okay. That whole thing, that whole monologue is him saying, am I a slave to this or is my destiny my own? Because if it is my own, I want to change it.
Well, I understand that, but I did not see that as like Dinobot dies, or he sees his own death and wants to change that or whatever. I don't see it as that.
Okay.
I see because I see a whole bunch of other different things. As far as if I see this, I want to change that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that he would want to change at this point. Like as far as changing the future, like changing like his status, like all throughout the middle of last season, we had like just stories that were just completely showcasing how much of an outsider he was, and how like his only place right now was on that planet right now with the Maximals. Because if they went back to Cybertron, he would be a prisoner and he would be brought to justice for the crimes that he committed and all these other different things, and just all this like
and he hates every assignment. Yeah, and he hates every assignment that's given to him. He wants something else out of life than what he's getting.
I know, and that's the way that I took it. Like there's so many different things that he could change in the future. It's like, if this is my future, I want to change it, because we know that he doesn't want to be like stuck. Like, sure, yeah, he's about battle and conforming strategy or finding constructing strategies and all this other stuff, but he still does not strike me as the type of person who wants to be like at war all the time.
Yeah, there's a difference between like peace through tyranny, or like and that's like the Megatron type of thing, is peace through tyranny, whereas like Dinobot is an honorable character. He is even in the first episode, he wouldn't just kill Optimus Prime outright. He's like, no, this has to be done the right way.
Yeah, we're gonna battle.
Very specific about it. Yeah,
this is what it's gonna do. We're gonna fight with honor. And he even mentions that when he starts falling and he picks him up, and he's like, it wouldn't be the honorable thing to do. Yeah. So we know that he's a man of honor, or a bot of honor. We know what metal he's made of. Which it was cobalt steel, I think we said it was cobalt, or titanium or something like that.
No, that's Cheetor. He's the
that's chromed steel. That's
chrome steel, yeah. Cheetor is now the Cobalt Kitty.
That ties us back into what was going on. So basically, Dinobot stuffs the discs under a couch.
Yeah, he hides them off in the wilderness. He only hides one, though.
Really?
Yep.
I thought he did both.
No, he only hides one. We find that out in another minute after Black Arachnia stuffs her brain into Tarantulas' body. Okay. Well, we're going to get to Tarantulas and Black Arachnia in Tarantulas' secret base, and she's got his gross curled up dead spider carcass
on a web,
and she's got the IR goggles on. She's got her Sam Fisher goggles on and cables hanging out of her head, and he is getting her to download his spark back into his body.
And there's some back and forth banter in between the two of them, and you hear Tarantulas go, "It's working! Yeah. It's working!"
Yeah, you see that one leg twitch. Oh, so disgusting.
And then he starts uncurling.
Yeah, he starts
legs.
uncurling, and I don't care if he's like just made of metal now. He's not even like twitchy, gross, wet-looking bug. He's all shiny and trans metal, but that's still disgusting.
So it ends up working.
Yeah, it ends up working.
She's kind of wiped out, I guess, from the whole process. Megatron radios back and says, "Hey, we need your help," or whatever, because the fight with Cheetor isn't going easily as I thought. So tying that back in, let's go talk about that fight a little bit more. So Cheetor, describes himself as the Cobalt Kitty, or was it?
Yeah.
It was Platinum Kitty.
No, it was Cobalt Kitty. He had the alliteration, man.
Okay, well, no, because it was like it was Cobalt Kitty. Oh, it was this is the Platinum Kitty calling in, and then they started shooting at him. He's like, someone's trying to cook this kitty.
Ah.
But there's whatever. I might be wrong.
This is the Cobalt Kitty calling. Oh! Someone's trying to cook this cat.
It was cheesy and bad. That's what it was.
Cheetor's and a bunch of cheesy stuff. Who is with him right now?
No one is with him.
Doesn't somebody show up there to help him?
No one is there to help him out.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Megatron tells everyone to attack.
What the heck happened to Tigertron and Air Razor?
I don't. Well, they're busy. You know.
Yeah, it looks like it.
We got delayed.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
Cheetor was able to get the best of Silverbolt.
Well, Silverbolt doesn't even want to fight him.
Yeah.
And Megatron's like, no, attack him. And he's like, but he's not even attacking us. And then he just shoots Silverbolt.
Yep.
And then he reluctantly goes and chases after him.
Yeah.
So Quickstrike hops on the back of Inferno.
Yeah.
And he's like, woo, yeah.
Yep. I liked when Quickstrike called him Blender Butt.
Oh, gosh.
So Inferno is carrying Quickstrike, and Quickstrike is ready to party. Silverbolt is coerced into giving chase to Cheetor. He shoots his couple of wing darts up ahead at Cheetor, ends up hitting some rocks and collapsing onto himself. So Silverbolt is kind of out of the fight for the moment. Cheetor is congratulating himself for that, and then Megatron is hot on his tail.
Yeah, Cheetor makes comments about like how this
Nothing like cat speed and cornering ability. Wow! Except maybe brute force.
Yeah, because Megatron's just plowing through these like things that he's weaving in and out of. I can't remember how that ended.
Well, that's when Cheetor calls home to
radio
Trap.
and let them know.
Yeah, he calls home,
and that's where we kind of meet up with Dinobot again.
Oh yeah. Because Rat Trap gets the call, and he's like, okay, cool. Well, we're gonna have to put an end to what Rhinox is doing because we're gonna need his help. The computer tells him, hey, if you mess with Rhinox, he's gonna die forever.
His consciousness is far expanded or far exceeded
some
whatever
kind of
tolerances.
Unit Rhinox's core consciousness has extended beyond measurable limits. Any disturbance will result in permanent loss of spark.
Oh, sure. Now, there's some great timing for you.
Yeah, it's basically saying he's out too far.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's too whacked out, man. You got to let him come down.
You guys are gonna have two blanks if you if you disturb what he's doing now. So Rat Trap can't do anything about that. And then Dinobot shows up.
Yeah,
and he's standing there. He's got a golden disc behind his back. It's there. Yeah, he's just standing there with this golden disc behind his back, and he's asking Rat Trap for a brief on what's going on. And in the meantime, Dinobot drops the big wall of guns down between them. So he can A, stash the golden disc, and B, he's like arming himself up like got two bullet belts over his shoulders, and he's got guns all over the place while Rat Trap is telling him what's going on.
And then the rest of this kind of plays out like a spaghetti western, man. Like old Clint Eastwood Eastwood movie.
Clint Eastwood, like a Magnificent Seven type of a
we have
showdown setting up because Megatron is calling everybody come to my coordinates.
Yeah, and like we have shots of like Megatron staring at. There's like all this like clock like symbolism.
Yeah,
a literal clock at some point.
He's got like like a solar system clock.
Yeah, it's a weird solar. There's a sun in the middle, and there's like three red, blue, and a green planet or whatever kind of orbiting around in these things, and then eventually they line up to these circles, and then they go in, and everyone lines up, and everyone's like facing off, and they have guns, and it's quite literal. There's like a wind in the background. There was a tumbleweed that rolls by the screen.
Music and
a church bell rings in the background. Dong. And it's just I don't know. And then it ends.
Yep, it's 6 versus 3, man. The Predacons are all lined up. You have Quickstrike, Silverbolt, Inferno, Megatron, Black Arachnia, Tarantulas. All of them are lined up and facing down Cheetor, Rat Trap, and Dinobot. Just 3, and they all draw their weapons, and then you hear the gunshot, and the screen burns, like what's it called? Like Bonanza.
Yeah.
Leaving the to be continued up on the screen. Before this, however, before Tarantulas and Black Arachnia roll out to meet up on Megatron's coordinates, Tarantulas demonstrates that he left part of his brain in Black Arachnia.
Yeah, Black Arachnia is like, oh, forget that. I'm not gonna go. And then she goes to go do something, and he like basically takes control.
Yeah,
of her.
she goes to shoot him, and then he takes control of her arm.
He's like, I left the psychic link open,
and points it at her own head. So this is something else that we're gonna still have to deal with. She is not done with this very complicated relationship that she has with Tarantulas.
Yeah, I mean, Tarantulas, I think he just got fed up of her just walking in on him all the time.
Yeah, he needs to know where she's at.
Listen, I can't afford to like lose what I'm working on or have to minimize all my stuff like so quickly. Cliffhanger.
Yeah, another cliffhanger.
Part
We've got
6
some threads happening.
Yeah. It's just
hey, I like these long story arcs, man. I like them better than the single shot sitcom episodes and stuff like that. This is like,
I agree with you there. However, there are ways to do over longer story arcs
and still have some
closure on the episode.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff with the probe and the ruins and all this other like there are so many different ways to go about doing that.
Yes.
Than just leaving it on a cliffhanger like this. It's like, oh. I don't want to have to wait till next week. I don't.
Yeah.
You know how agonizing it was to deal with this like past week of not doing this, 2 weeks ago?
Was there a cliff? Oh yeah, I guess
there was the season ender cliffhanger.
Well, yeah, there was the season ender cliffhanger. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But man, I don't know, dude. But tell you what, Eric, we will find out what happens next soon enough. Until then, I've been Dale.
And I've been Eric.
And you've been listening to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
Which you could find at optimusprimecast.com.
To be continued. High five.